Eid celebrations are impossible without a perfect biryani. And what makes a perfect biryani is the perfectly cooked tender meat that can be cut with no efforts, flavorful and tasteful yet delicately infused rice which is cooked to perfection. And this is the correct recipe for making a perfect biryani. Today I'm going to show you how to make the Kache Ghosh ki biryani, which is the Nawabi style from Hyderabad. So to begin with, I'm first going to marinate my mutton. We need fried onions, raw papaya paste. I have just cut my raw papaya into fine pieces, grind it into a mixer with a little bit of water and made the paste. I will be using mutton to make this dish. So mutton usually takes a lot of time to cook. Now papaya paste is going to be a tenderizer for the mutton to cook evenly and fast while we put it at dum with the rice. Along with this, I'm going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of ginger garlic and chili paste, a few spices which are listed in the description box in the exact quantity. I'm going to add few cloves of cardamom, haldi, that is turmeric, some jeera, that is cumin, and some peppercorns, with my biryani masala, curd, and ghee, oil, and salt as per taste. Now, I'm not a girl who likes to go to a butcher and get the meat personally, so I ordered this from Licious, and this is how they had sent me. This was a really good looking package and a clean meat. I absolutely loved the idea of buying a meat like this because it had no bloodshed included or any yucky part that I had to clean from the meat. The meat was clean and wrapped airtightly into a bag. All I had to do is just wash it with some salt water first and some vinegar. I have ordered 500 grams of rich goat meat which has bits and pieces of fat here and there. Now we need a little fatty meat for this biryani. Now let's get to the marinating part. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of haldi, salt as per taste, and then a lot of these fried onions. These are 10 medium size of onions which I had fried at home. You can use the store-bought as well. Leave some for the garnish. Now this is the biryani masala. I have a detailed recipe for this biryani masala in my dum biryani video. Do check it out. The link is in the description. Next, I'm going to add the raw papita or papaya paste. Now I'm going to add 2 big tablespoons, or you could just add 4 teaspoons of this papaya paste. This is a very important step, so do not miss adding the raw papaya paste. There is no alternative as well for this. I am going to add some ginger garlic and chili paste as well. This is 2 big tablespoons. Next, I am going to add in the raw spices, which is cumin seeds, the cardamom, peppercorns, everything that I had shown earlier. Also 1 teaspoon or tablespoon of ghee, depends upon how you like the flavor. Mix it well with your hands. Incorporate all the spices and rub the meat very well with everything that we have added. Next goes in the beaten up curd. Now I'm using around 250 grams of beaten up curd into this mixture, as I'm using 500 grams of meat. So the portion is going to be 1:2. Always beat your curd before adding, or else you will have some granules of curd into your masala. Next, add a handful of coriander and mint leaves and give it one more mix. The green coriander and mint leaves add a very distinctive flavor to the marinade, so do not skip this. Mix well and leave it for marinate at least for 4 hours. Yes, 4 hours. We want our meat to get tender with the help of the papaya that we have added. Now, when you do this for 4 hours, the meat will be tender, soft, and easy to cook when you put it at dum. While we are waiting for 4 hours, let's discuss what rice we need. This is the biryani basmati rice that I've ordered from Big Basket. Now I do not know any other brand which is so compatible with making the biryani perfect, so I've ordered this. I'm going to use half kg of rice to this, as we are using half kg mutton. Half kg rice is the perfect. I have just cleaned and washed my rice. I did not soak it. I have a pot of boiling water to which I'm going to infuse some spices. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of cumin, a stick of cinnamon, 4 to 5 cloves. Now I have listed all these spices, all the ingredients used in the description, so do not need to worry about it. Some mace and some star anise. Next, I'm also going to add some bay leaves. This adds a very nice flavor to our rice. Now you may see my rice has actually gone a little yellow. So I'm going to add ghee and some green mint and coriander leaves. I'm also going to squeeze half a lime juice into this without the seeds. You can instantly see the color has changed to the original color and it's not pale yellow as it was looking. The reason that we add lime to the boiling water is to clear and have a white bright rice. Now add in the washed rice and keep your flame on the lowest possible heat. Give a stir occasionally with a fork and do not use a spoon or a spatula. Fork will help you not to break the rice and have a perfect shape for each rice. Add salt to your taste and let it simmer for a few minutes. We are not looking to cook this rice at all. We are just trying to infuse all the flavors to the rice as well. So now we're going to check how fine our rice is cooked. If you can see, if it's still not cooked and you can break it with your fingers, but you still see that it is so needs to be well done, this is the correct time we have to pull the rice out of the water. I'm going to save some of this rice cooked water aside, about half a cup. We are going to use this water when we keep our rice and the gosht for dum. This water is going to help our rice and meat combine all the flavors together, because we have added spices differently in the rice and in the meat. Drain out your rice and set it aside. The process of cooking your rice has to be done 1 hour before you start making the actual dum biryani, not the marination. So to make this rice, I'm going to use my trusty rice cooker. Now you can see how old this is and what condition it is, so you know how trusty and faithful this rice cooker is. I have been using it for a long time and it comes with 2 settings, which is cooking and keeping it warm. My marinade is sitting for 4 hours. My rice is perfectly done and my cooker is waiting for dum. I'm going to add my marinated meat to the base of this cooker. This has a strainer at the bottom which helps the meat not stick to the bottom and cooks it evenly. Since we had kept our marinade for 4 hours with the raw papaya, it has actually made our meat so tender that it will be cooked in no time. So do not worry about your meat directly being added to the base. Spread your meat evenly onto the base so that it is cooked evenly. Next, add in the half cooked rice that we had previously saved. Spread it evenly. This is just 2 layers biryani, so you have no multiple layers. The base is of meat and topped with the uncooked rice. This is how we're going to give the dum. Add the rice cooked water which we had saved earlier. Spread it evenly. Load up your biryani for dum with some brista on top, which is the fried onions. I had about 10 onions which I had chopped and fried, some which I used in my marinade, and the leftover I'm using on the top of the biryani for garnish. Add a handful of mint and coriander leaves on top as garnish. I have about 150 ml of milk which I had microwaved with some strands of saffron, which I'm going to pour on top. This gives a distinguished zafrani flavor to our biryani as well as the yellow saffron color. You can also use saffron water or saffron color. Add about 1 tablespoon of cooking oil to this, 1 teaspoon of ghee. Spread it on top evenly. You can add some kevda water or rose water to this dish. I do not prefer adding it as it gives a very sweet flavor. Garnish it with some powdered garam masala on top. This gives a very good heat and very good flavors when you open it from dum. Next, I am also going to add some cardamom powder. Now, elaichi or cardamom powder gives this beautiful aroma when you remove the biryani from dum. I am going to place the lid on top of my rice cooker and keep it to cooking. Once my rice cooker goes to keep warm, it's the time to put it on dum. I'm going to place a cloth on top so that the steam does not move out. Place a clean cloth on top and a lid on top and fold the ends of the cloth. You can also seal it up with wheat flour, that is the chapati dough that we make. If not, you can use this method to give dum. The reason why I'm using a cloth is because there is a tiny hole on the lid which I want to cover. I'm going to keep this on dum, which is the rice cooker mode of keep warm, for at least 2 hours. After 2 hours, I'm going to lift my lid up. You can see the amount of steam that has come off. This is the sign that our biryani is nicely getting its dum. Now just to check, you can also check if there is any water left. You could see a little bit of water or the milk that we have added, so keep it back to dum another half an hour. Yes, this biryani does take a lot of time. It's because we need 4 hours of marination and 2 hours of dum. So almost 6 hours are invested in this. But look at the results. The meat is so tenderly cooked that the flesh is off the bones so easily, even with just a fork. Serve your biryani in a nice copper vessel with some raita or sliced onion and some lime wedge. I am sure this recipe is going to remind you of a childhood story told to you by your grandmom or anybody as Birbal ki khichdi. This has taken about 6 hours, 4 hours for marination and 2 hours of dum. I am sure this biryani is one thing that will make your Eid very special. It is that unimaginable texture of the meat that you find in the biryani like this. It is far too tender and succulent than the usual biryanis. The flavors and the aroma you get when you open the lid is just mind-blowing. This is your Bakasur Mama Ritika signing off and wishing everyone Eid Mubarak.